Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you today what is inside an example of a date night in box. You may have heard of this subscription service. I think it's a cute idea. Whenever I've told people that, oh, we got a date night in a box, and they're like, oh, that sounds so much fun. What's in it? And tell me about it. So I'm jumping on today to show you of one example and a review I did, and I do have the full review on my blog. I do have that link in the description, and so you can click on that and read that. But I'm going to open the box and go step by step, basically what you are supposed to do during your date. Now, do you by any means have to do all of it? Well, no, but part of the fun is that it's already done for you, so there's no thinking involved, because you're like, honey, what should we do? Or even before that, it's trying to just figure out a time to even have a date night. And if you have kids that need a babysitter, then you have to set up the babysitter. And then you're just like, well, I don't even know. Where do you want to go to eat? Is there any good movies out? What should we do? And then, like, date nights could just kind of be, eh. Or you could get this that comes in a box, and everything's scripted out for you. And what I like about this is because this isn't a typical go out to dinner and watch a movie, and you end up talking about the kids or family drama or work drama, and you aren't really connecting with each other. But this box, well, at least this example, the theme is Let Love Grow. And it's all about conversation and connecting with your spouse or your partner. So that's what I appreciated about it the most, is that because it kind of guides you to have conversations that you might not normally have on a daily basis. You probably had them when you're first dating or engaged, but my husband and I have been married 12 years. And so how often do we sit down and have, like, let's connect conversations? It's usually what happened today at work, what's going on with the kids, what's going on in the family and stuff like that, rather than, hey, honey, here's what I appreciate about you. And that doesn't happen as much as it should. So let me open up this box. Let me show you. Let Love Grow is the theme of this one. And it's very green. So if you are an environmentally conscious person, you will love this one. There is a faith-based version of this as well, which I totally want to review because my husband and I are Christians, and I know that if there was scripture or other stuff in it that had to do with our relationship with God, I know that we would find it fabulous. But this is the non-faith version. And so it comes with a guide right off the bat. And inside it has all the activities. You set the mood. There's a complimentary dinner menu. You have table talk. You can grow an herb garden. There is relationship timeline to go over with each other. There's growth questions that are on playing cards, and then game suggestions with the cards. On eco-friendly lifestyle tips and ways to continue your date night. So first of all, they suggest, I have to find the little candle here. There's a little candle. It says Let Love Grow on it, but there's going to be a glare and it's hard to show you in this lighting. But okay, so let me explain when we did this. My husband and I, every year, I love this tradition, and I wish every couple under the planet had this tradition, but I know that not every couple has easy access to overnight childcare. We are very blessed because my in-laws are local, and they volunteer each year to take the girls for 2 nights so that my husband and I can get away, and we do this every year right around our anniversary. And it's like Christmas in April, because our anniversary is in April. It's so wonderful. And we always go to thequietplace.com, which, if you do live around here and haven't checked it out, and you are looking for, like, a couple getaway, I highly, highly recommend it. There's cabins that are dispersed around in the Finger Lakes area, but I don't want to call them cabins because that sounds too rustic and like you're camping. These are not cabins. They're like small, like vacation homes, I should say. Most of them come with a hot tub. Most of them are on many acres of land, so there's hiking trails, or there's nearby parks where you can go for hiking trails. And it literally is quiet and amazing. Some of them don't have internet access, probably on purpose, so you can truly get away. But we have visited, I don't know, I think out of the 7 out of the 12 years we've been married, we've gone there annually, and we try sometimes, well, I like to try the different cabins out. My husband's like, we like this one, let's just stick with this one. But sometimes we just move around a little bit and try them, each of them, because they all have a little bit something different to them. But anyway, love thequietplace.com. If you are in upstate New York, go see quietplace.com. And that's not even like a sponsored gig. That's just me saying how wonderful it is. So anyway, we lit our candle. We were at our cabin getaway, and we didn't have to worry about finding a babysitter. Our kids were with their in-laws. And then once you set the mood, there are also music playlists. It gives you a website right in your date night guide where you can go right on your phone, and they have all of the date nights actually listed, and you can choose a playlist. They also have the faith-based version ones too, so if you do listen to Christian music, you can just choose that. You don't even have to choose the one that's recommended specifically for that date. But I think it's pretty cool that they already have like a whole song list planned for you, and you can just press play. And then you move on. And if you wanted to, they provided a menu so that the two of you could start your evening off by cooking together. And in this case, there is wait, where's the main? So we have a blackberry mint cocktail or mocktail, so you can make it alcoholic or non-alcoholic. And then the main meal is vegetarian, which, woohoo, I'm a fan of. But it was farro with fresh pesto and veggies. And it just reminds me that there was pesto in this, and there's also basil in the drink recipe. And then later on, you're supposed to grow your own herb garden. And this is my basil plant from the herb garden. So there's kind of a basil theme going throughout, and you're supposed to watch your basil grow as you let your love grow, which again is the theme of the date. So we've got our drink, we have our main dish, and then for a side, it was creamed kale, and for dessert, lemon cookies. Now, I personally have not made any of these. All of them sound amazing to me because I do eat mostly vegetarian, and for no other reason other than I just don't like meat. But I love basil, and the only thing I might change is get a dessert that had dense chocolate in it rather than like a lemon cookie on top of chocolate mousse. That would be my ideal dessert. I haven't made these yet, so I can't tell you how yummy they are. They look amazing, but it comes with a menu if you want to do that. But since we were going on our getaway, we just always go on a mad shopping spree at Wegmans, and we just buy food at Wegmans for the weekend, and then we don't even have to worry about going anywhere. So we already had our dinner pre-cooked and pre-purchased, so we did not do that. But then there's a section on table talk where, so this goes through 5 stages of a relationship. One is the romance and, oh, I'm so in love, and then you don't know what you're doing. Like, I remember when I first met my husband, and like my brain is just fried all day long. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like this guy. Like, could this be him? Could this be it? And then like my brain just wasn't functioning. And I remember putting cheese instead of back in the fridge. I stuck it in the silverware drawer at the house I was renting at the time. And I remember later on coming in and I found my little cheese snacks in the silverware drawer, and I was like, oh no, my brain's not working. Honey, you made me put cheese in the silverware drawer. So then you have the romance stage, and then 2, the power struggle. 3, stability. 4, commitment, and 5, co-creation. My husband and I also just a couple months ago, we were mentoring a couple at our church who got married in January, and it was so much fun, and we did premarital counseling with them and just talked about the differences between males and females, and talked about budgeting and communication and intimacy and things like that, important things that you need to talk about before you get married. And it would just be fun to have this chart to also talk about with couples in general of the stages of your relationship, and you could talk about where you are. Or, because even if you get to stability, you might move back and forth between stability and power struggle, and it kind of gives you an opportunity to talk about it. Then the DIY Blossom Kit, which I already showed you, but I did plant this in April. So what is it today? It's June 19th. Maybe I didn't plan it in April. Maybe I did pull off till May because I feel like it would be bigger if I planted it in April. So anyway, this is currently on my windowsill. I wanted to get a little bit bigger, and then I do have a pot outside that I already have some basil planted in, but I might get either a second pot, and this is made out of bamboo, and it says on there, let grow, so it's super cute. But it's made out of bamboo, so it will decompose on its own. So you can just take that whole pot and stick it in a bigger pot and just watch the whole thing grow, and then you don't have to worry about taking the dirt out and transplanting. You can just stick it right in. So I think that's kind of cool. Then there is a relationship timeline guide. You're supposed to write down milestone moments, important dates. I'll be honest, we were too lazy to do this. It's blank. We were on a getaway. We weren't about to dig in our brains and think, honey, well, even though we have this stuff memorized, but when was our first date? How did we meet? How long were we dating until we got engaged? When did we get married? When did we buy our first house? When did we have our first child and our second child and all the milestones? But we're like, yeah, we already know that stuff, and it might hurt our brains to even think about specific dates. So we did not go over this. That does not mean this is not useful for a certain couple, especially if you are newly married or you don't have kids yet, or you're about to, like, I think this would be fantabulous. Yes, I just said fantabulous. I think this would be super fun if someone was going to propose to his girlfriend to have this whole thing filled out, and he would have like a nice guide of reading of different stages of their relationship. And then the last one he could write down at the end here would be the day I proposed to you. And then he'd get down on one knee and say, will you marry me? And I think that would be totally adorable. So the relationship timeline. Then the growth question. So then it comes with a deck of cards. Let grow deck of cards. And it is just a normal standard deck of cards, but on each of the cards, well, except for the jokers, but on each of the cards, there is discussion questions. So here is a good one. Some of these questions were like, lame, we know the answer, we've been married 12 years. And some of them are like, oh, these are actually thought-provoking. So here's a good thought-provoking one. Was share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back on how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. So that is a great way to talk about your feelings, because men don't normally volunteer to talk about their feelings. And even if it's a topic you've already been communicating about, it's a great time to sit back and reflect and say, okay, this is an issue that's going on. How can we improve this? Or how is it going? Or let's just take the time and discuss it. Oh, this one's kind of weird. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why? I guess that one is kind of weird. Oh, this is kind of fun. Your house containing everything you own catches fire after saving your loved ones and pets. You have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why? I'm pretty sure both of us said our cell phone and laptop, because all of the rest of our lives are on our cell phones and laptops, and other than our family and pets, everything else is replaceable. Tell your partner something that you like about them already. I think that's great if you're newly dating. It also, I guess it's good. Maybe I'm just kind of boring and lame. I'm like, I've already told my husband 1,000 times everything I like about him. Oh, when did you last cry in front of another person and by yourself? That's easy for girls to answer. I don't know, guys might be like, I never cry. I'm not answering. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. My husband knows every single embarrassing moment that has ever happened to me. So that was like, don't even go there. If you're going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. Wait, if you're going to become a close friend with your partner. So that's like we're really dating and I barely know you. And maybe this is like third or fourth date and you take this to the park or something and you ask that question and you're like, okay, well, now that we've been on 3 or 4 dates, maybe I should tell you this. So I guess my point is these cards, I could read these for the next hour. I'm not going to read these for the next hour, but I would say there is a range of questions depending on where you are in your relationship. Some of them will be helpful. Some of them will be like, I know that. We know that. We talk about that all the time. If you were in a younger relationship, you probably would have a good time with these cards and they would help you get to know each other. And this is also something I think I would share even with a couple that we just mentored that's married. In fact, now that I'm done with this box, I think I am going to pass this on to them. And I think it is a wonderful wedding gift idea is to buy a subscription so that every month a new couple would have a date night in a box. Okay, so after you do the growth questions, then there's card games that they suggest that you can play. Like just standard normal card games. They have a twist on one of them. What was it? Let me grab my phone here because there's a website that you can go to that has a twist. Oh, you can play Egyptian Rat Screw with a date night and box twist. And I haven't played Egyptian Rat Screw, but I know it's pretty. I love card games, but my husband not a fan. So I have to play cards with my kids, and they're still pretty little. And like I want to play euchre. No one in this house gets euchre yet, so I have to wait a few years before we start playing. But anyway, for Egyptian Rat Screw, apparently you have to like slap during the game, and they say if you slap, then you also have to participate in some sort of improved communication with your partner or your spouse, make or how you can be better at decision making, or how you can be better at prioritizing a date night, or things like that. So they give you cues of communication things that you're supposed to do during the game if you want. Like I said, my husband doesn't like card games, and just going through the discussion questions, we're like, okay, that was fun. Moving on. So we did. Oh, and we're supposed to, it comes with tea bags too. Those are long gone. I think it came with 4 or 6, but there was raspberry hibiscus caffeine-free herbal tea that you could have made iced if you would like, or warm, or hot, and you're supposed to drink your tea while you play your card game. And then it also comes with these stainless steel straws and a cleaner for the straws. This is the environmentally friendly part of the box because I know many people are saying we just need to get rid of plastic straws completely, or at least make them compostable, which I'm a fan of. Or why can't we recycle straws? Why can't they be made out of recycled plastic? I don't know. I guess I have to look that one up. I honestly haven't used these. My kids will like them. You can use the little sponge thingy to clean them out good on the inside and reuse them. So that comes in your box as well. And then they have eco lifestyle tips. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. A lot of them you've probably already heard of. And ways to continue your date night. Activities like ride a bike, do a community cleanup, plant a tree, join a gardening co-op. So the environmentally friendly theme, but it's also let it grow. It's kind of like gardening and organic. And movie suggestions. There's a coupon in here for a wine cellar, like someplace you can buy wine online if that's your thing. And that's about it. So I guess my final conclusion on what I subscribe on a regular basis to Date Night in Box, I think, well, okay, so each box, if you don't get a deal, which often Date Night in Boxes usually has a promo code or a deal. If you don't get a deal or you buy a box individually, it's about $40. Now, $40 for this box kind of seems expensive to me, but if my husband and I were to go out on an actual date and just go out for dinner, we would easily spend $40. And if we had to pay for a babysitter, that's probably another $20. And if we threw in a movie on top of that, which we never do, but just in case we did, that would be like another $20. So the standard dinner and a movie and a babysitter costs way more than $40. But that's probably why a lot of couples don't go out enough, because it is expensive. So if you're looking for a way to connect that is a little bit cheaper than a standard date, or you just want to go to a park and even let your kids play on a swing set and you go through some of the questions or some of the activities in here, that's fine. So I also, what I really want to do is for the next wedding that I attend, is I want to give this as a wedding gift, a 12-month subscription. And so then we'd be the cool wedding guest, the cool wedding guests that gave them a gift that lasted all year long. And I think that would be fun because it's also important on building your relationship. First year of marriage can be really hard. Like if you are still getting to know each other, or if you haven't lived together before and you're still working on male versus female communication, and you don't have kids yet, then that would be a great time to be going through and having your own little date night, and having an hour or two where you just have it strictly planned out, X'd out on the calendar. We're doing our date night. I have a little fuzzy in front of me. I'm just going to grab it. Then I think that would be great. There is a promo code. Let's tell you about a deal, because there's always has to be a deal. I'm sharing something. So the deal, if you use promo code NIB2FREE, that stands for Night in Boxes 2 Free. That means if you sign up for a 6-month subscription or a 12-month subscription, you actually do get 2 months free. And so then I feel like that actually makes it a more reasonable cost, in my opinion. And I think it would make a great wedding gift, like I said. That would be fabulous. If we had a milestone wedding anniversary, I don't know, I feel like every year should be a milestone wedding anniversary, but like we just hit 12 years. What if at 15 years, we told our parents, can you guys just chip in and get us Date Night in a Box subscription? Because that would just be healthy for our marriage. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you what's inside one of these. And when you do have a subscription, you can choose between a non-faith-based or faith-based. I totally want to try the faith-based one next. I know that I've already said that. And you can choose if you want 3, I think, out of the year. I don't know that you get 3 in a row. I just think you get 3 spread out throughout the year, or 6, you get one every other month, or 12, so you get one every month. Or I think you can just buy them individually. And I think once in a while they do have like flash sales, so that one specific box, I remember seeing, I'm sure the sale's over, but they had like a Throwback Thursday themed box where it was all 80s stuff, and it looked kind of fun. But they were doing a big sale on that, and I think it was like half off or something. So you could get just that Date Night in a Box for $20. And those kind of deals, I'd be like, sign me up, grab them, buy them, try them. You can't beat $20 for a fun date night that actually helps communication with your spouse. So I would be all about that. If you have questions, if you want to know anything else that's in this box that I didn't talk about, or anything else about the subscription service in general, leave a comment. I've also done a review on Kids Night in Boxes, which is from the same company. If you go to their website, which is just datenightinbox.com, you can see that there's kid ones to choose from, there's date nights to choose from, and then there's faith-based for both of them to choose from. And I'm hoping to try a faith-based one next and do a video on that. And I think that's it. So go have fun for the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.